Okay, let's unpack this. Think about the last time you had, a really brilliant idea, a business, an invention, maybe a big career change.
hmm
What was that first thought that just killed the spark? For so many of us, it's that sinking feeling, it's too late.
Someone's already doing it.
Exactly. The market is saturated, everything is already taken. That fear of scarcity, it holds back more people than a lack of talent ever could.
It's the biggest intellectual hurdle we face, and that scarcity mindset is what our sources today are designed to dismantle. Not just philosophically,
Yeah.
but scientifically.
Right.
We're diving into a truth that really runs counter to most of our anxieties. Growth isn't about motivation or luck or waiting for the economy to favor you. It's a universal law built right into the DNA of life itself.
So that's our mission for this deep dive, to completely shift your operating system, to get you from believing chances run out to understanding that life, demand, ideas, they all constantly and infinitely expand.
Yeah, we're going to try and prove why opportunities are not just plentiful, they are literally limitless.
And why believing anything else is, well, it's just ignoring the science you can see right in front of you.
It's time to stop fighting over slices of pie and realize the universe is constantly baking new ones.
I have to admit, I was fascinated by the biology section in these sources, but at first I struggled. How does the growth of a tree apply to me trying to start a software company in a field that feels totally crowded?
That's the perfect question. You have to bridge that gap. And sources do it by starting with observable, undeniable facts.
Okay.
The foundational rule is this: life seeks expansion. You don't have to convince a plant to grow, right? It just does. It pushes towards sunlight. It expands its roots. It doesn't ask for permission.
Yeah, and that example of a tree cracking through concrete, that's not motivation, that's just its core programming.
It's an undeniable physical manifestation of persistence. And if you look at the mechanics, it's even clearer. Biologists talk about this concept of metabolic surplus.
Metabolic surplus, what's that?
So when any living system, a cell, a baby, an entire ecosystem, takes in more energy than it needs just to survive, that extra energy is automatically channeled toward expansion, toward growth.
So growth is the default. It's what life does with extra energy.
Exactly. Contraction, shrinking, that's the exception. It's a reaction to stress or injury. But expansion is the natural inherent state. Life is literally wired for growth.
Okay, I'm with you on the biology. So how does that connect to opportunities?
Well, if life itself is fundamentally programmed to expand, to seek new territory, to find new solutions,
Yeah.
then opportunities, which are just expressions of new solutions, must grow at the same time.
They have to.
They can't run out unless life itself just stops expanding. And as the sources point out, everything is growing. Plants grow, children grow, human knowledge is growing exponentially.
You can't stop the expansion. You can only choose whether you're going to align with it or not.
And this is so crucial for you, the listener, to understand. We aren't talking about, some spiritual concept or just hustle culture.
Yeah.
This is a scientific law that applies to a forest just as much as it applies to a new venture capital market.
All right, so if that's the law of nature, let's pivot to the messy world of human economics. Because people look at things like population growth slowing down, they think, well, demand must eventually plateau. If everything gets solved and we stop having more people, where does infinite opportunity come from?
That perspective completely misses the real engine of growth. It's not just the number of people, it's the nature of human demand.
Okay.
Our sources show that as long as humans exist, demand never stops. Because our needs just get more complex. We don't just need food anymore. We need organic, locally sourced, personalized meal kits delivered by a drone.
Right. We don't just need to communicate. We need instant, encrypted, cross-platform communication that syncs with our smart home and, anticipates what we want.
Absolutely. We consume, we need solutions, services, technology, entertainment, health. And crucially, we always need improvements on all of it.
So even with something huge like AI, which people fear will replace jobs.
The demand doesn't vanish.
Yeah.
It just shifts to a higher order of complexity.
I hear that anxiety all the time, though,
Yeah.
that AI is going to solve all the problems and leave nothing for people to do. How do the sources handle that?
They show that, AI is solving basic repetitive problems. Customer service chats, data entry. But in doing so, it creates a massive new demand for high-value human work.
Like what?
It solves problem X and immediately creates problems A, B, and C. We suddenly need AI ethicists, prompt engineers, integration consultants, people to build regulatory frameworks. The demand evolves from simple math to complex morality.
So this gets to what I thought was the most powerful idea from the material. Problems are infinite.
Yes.
Therefore, solutions are infinite. And therefore, opportunities are infinite.
Every single successful business is just a solution to a problem. And think about the core human problems that will never, ever disappear. Stress, loneliness, confusion, boredom, health decline.
Communication challenges, security threats.
We've been solving those since we lived in caves, and the solutions just get more and more nuanced.
Which leads right into this multiplier effect you were talking about. When you solve one big problem.
You don't end the market. You just reveal 10 smaller, more specialized, and often more profitable problems underneath it.
Give me an example.
The automobile, early 20th century. It solved the problem of slow, fixed route transportation. Did opportunity dry up?
No, of course not. It exploded.
Exactly. The car instantly created brand new industries. Road construction, traffic laws, insurance companies, gas stations, high-speed policing, roadside assistance, the entire idea of a suburb.
Wow. One solution created 10 new markets that are still running today.
That's the perfect illustration. Ideas and innovations are self-replicating. The market for solutions doesn't get smaller. It gets deeper, wider, and constantly more specialized. The universe is engineered to create new needs.
Okay, let's hit the big psychological barrier now. If growth is so automatic, why do so many of us feel like we're fighting over scraps? We hear about the top 1% holding all the wealth. That feels like a zero-sum game.
It does.
Doesn't that prove the pie is finite, even if we're baking more? So what does this all mean?
That's the classic scarcity narrative, and it makes one critical mistake. It confuses resource hoarding with wealth creation.
Okay, explain that.
The core truth is that real wealth is created, not just taken. When a company develops a life-saving drug or software that saves every user 10 hours a week, that is new, quantifiable value wealth that literally did not exist before.
So we have to separate hoarding from creating. Scarcity is about a physical thing, like a rare mineral, but ingenuity can just make that mineral obsolete.
Precisely. You debunk the scarcity myth by focusing on creation. Resources adapt, markets adapt, and human skills evolve endlessly. Look at history. Every time we thought we were hitting a limit, we just innovated past it.
You mean like with energy?
Energy is the perfect example. We thought coal was finite, so we adapted to oil. Oil became a geopolitical problem, so we adapted to electricity, then renewables like solar. Solar is functionally limitless. The solution wasn't to ration coal, it was to make coal obsolete.
And that shift from a physical resource we dig up to a technological resource we capture from the sun, that completely reframes what a resource even is.
And it's happening everywhere. We didn't run out of paper for communication. We created the internet, a totally different system.
Or look at trust systems.
Yeah. We went from centralized banks and paper deeds to things like blockchain. Blockchain isn't a new kind of paper. It's an entirely new resource. Decentralized, verifiable trust. And that unlocks trillions in potential value that was impossible before.
The sources are really clear on this. The progression is always toward more complexity, more value, and more capability.
To believe we've reached the end of human ingenuity is just an intellectual failing. There will always be more.
So let's tie this all together. What we've established is this inescapable reality.
Yeah, let's summarize.
Everything is expanding at the same time. More people with more complex needs, more markets, more problems, more technology, more ways to communicate.
It's a continuous, multi-directional expansion.
And the relevance for you, the listener, is just profound. It means success is not a lottery. It's not reserved for the few who got in early. There is unlimited room for anyone who chooses to align with this law of growth.
Right. We've shown that growth is science. It's hardwired into everything.
Yeah.
But, and this is the key, harvesting that growth successfully, that's a decision. That's a choice.
So the world is generating opportunities constantly, but they don't show up with a giant neon sign.
No, they show up as complicated, nuanced problems. Problems that require a specialized skill set to even see, let alone solve.
So the listener has to make that choice. To align with this law by mastering their mind, staying disciplined, staying consistent in building their skills.
And if you do that, the result is predictable. Your skills will grow, your influence will grow, and crucially, your ability to perceive opportunity will grow.
It's that consistency that gets you to the level of complexity where the real opportunities are.
If problems never end, then opportunities never end. If people always need help, then creating value will always matter. If the world keeps expanding, you cannot run out of chances.
So the universe has solved the problem of limited opportunity. Our only job is to solve the problem of our own limited perception.
The world is expanding whether you participate or not. The opportunities are infinite whether you believe it or not. The only variable is you. Are you positioned through your own disciplined growth to see them and seize them? Hashtag outro.
This has been a really transformative deep dive. We've basically laid out the science of success and the economics of life. Growth is universal, it's constant, it's limitless, and it's scientific.
And because growth is the universal rule, it means opportunities never stop, ideas never stop, creativity demands solutions, and success never stop.
Which means the ultimate application of this isn't about hustling harder or searching wider for some hidden opportunity. It's about an internal transformation.
That's it, exactly. And here's the final thought from our sources, the ultimate instruction for your life. Your job isn't to look for opportunities. Your job is to grow into the person who can see them.
What a profound and clarifying call to action. Will you grow with the world? We'll leave you with that thought.